Welcome to Fantastic Fridays, where every Friday we'll be visiting a Fantastic Four movie or show leading up to Fantastic Four First Steps. Alright guys, it's time for another Fantastic Friday, and today we are revisiting the 1994 Fantastic Four animated series. This is a lot of fun to put together, and the cool thing is, for a lot of these characters, they actually represent their comic book counterparts well. So, in a way, this is kind of a twofer where, yes, we're doing them based off the animated series, but for people like Mole Man and Black Panther, this is literally how I would tell you to build them from the comics as well. So, it's really nice that we're paying homage to a lot of different eras of the Fantastic Four in different mediums. And with that being said, let's start building these using 100% official LEGO parts and pieces. Alright, we'll kick things off with the Fantastic Four, and in the show, they're actually kind of like cel-shaded, right? So, like, their suits actually look more black or dark blue than, traditional light blue. So what I did here is used plain dark blue torsos for Sue, Johnny, and Reed, and then of course gave them some embellishments from there. In fact, all three of them use the legs from Benny from the Lego Movie 2 that get you the dual molded white on the bottom with blue on top. Then I used lighter blue arms to kind of give that cel-shaded look. Of course, for Sue, I used those transparent arms from Electro because, I think that reflects her powers really well. Then, moving across the board, for Reed, I used the head from Sam Flynn from the Tron Legacy set from years back. And of course, I added just a little bit of white to the sides of his hair with some paint pen. Then for Sue, I used the head from Sylvie from the Lego Marvel CMF with some long blonde hair. And for Johnny, I used the head from one of the Weasley twins. It's not perfect. There's probably blonde eyebrows on a head somewhere, but when I was looking through my parts, I'm like, this works well enough for the show. So if you guys have a better recommendation, let me know. Then, of course, the hair is the blonde hair from Paul Walker's character from Fast and Furious, but it's been used in other places as well, I believe. Then, for the Thing, we've got the most change here. Of course, the head and the headpiece come from the Thing minifigure from Fantastic Four First Steps, while the torso is flipped around from the dinosaur guy from the CMF, where we're using that torso and arms. The colors don't match perfectly, but it is, in my opinion, the best choice for Ben right now. Then I gave him a black belt here, blue legs, and some studs to stand on, so he's a little bit taller. And I also forgot to mention we've got white gloves across the board and white utility belts, which have come on like Stormtrooper belt Luke Skywalker from the Death Star swing set, Easter Bunny Batman, and one or two other places over the years. Now for some bad guys. Dr. Doom and Mole Man will make up our bad guy roster here. Dr. Doom is the original minifig from the 2013 wave of sets, but I did add the arms from the Dragonborn Paladin from the D&D series just so that there's a little bit of extra detail there. Then Mole Man is completely custom, and what I used for him is this short green cape, a collar piece here from Mr. Miracle from the DC CMF with the head from Captain Cold from the DC. Then he's got some swept-back black hair, a plain green torso with green arms, tan hands, a walking stick, and short green legs to finish it out. Several other heroes had appearances in this show, so I wanted to honor those. Of course, we even see X-Men and Spider-Man and stuff, but, I have already done an X-Men 97 showcase, which is basically how to make the X-Men. I haven't done a Spider-Man the animated series one. I did a video game one, but I should do a Spider-Man the animated series one. So I really wanted to focus on characters that probably won't make it into those videos. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. Anyways, for Daredevil, I used the Daily Bugle Daredevil for the torso, the headpiece, and the head. Then, of course, to give him that cel-shaded look, I put on some dark red arms and dark red hips, and I used the belt-printed legs there that come from the Rock Climber from the CMF series. For Ghost Rider, I just used the most recent version of Ghost Rider as of this video. And then, of course, for Black Panther, I used the classic comic book Black Panther head with Black Panther ears and the flipped around torso from Red Skull so that he's got that belt that he wears in the show. And, of course, a cape to finish out the look. And here we have the Silver Surfer as well as the Human Torch, both of which I've featured on the channel previously. But for a quick recap, for the Silver Surfer, I actually removed a keychain from the head there, as you can see. And that keychain is, of course, just the silver minifig that you can get at the Lego store right now as of this video, with a light bluish gray surfboard, which is the closest color match we can get. Then for the Human Torch, I went ahead and used, actually, let me remove this flame piece. I used the legs and head from Energy Kai from Ninjago with this flame piece from, I believe his name is Inferno or something like that, from Ultra Agents, and the torso from Flama from Nexo Knights. I actually think Flama had this headpiece too. But I'm filming this at like 11 o'clock at night, so I'm a little bit tired, but if I got that wrong, I'm sure there will be people in the comments that tell us how wrong I am. Alright guys, stay tuned. Next week we get into the live action movies again, and I cannot wait for that. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys on the next video, and until next time, build on.